Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to episode 42. I am your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders. Today we have with us Masoom Minawala, founder of Style Fiesta. Style Fiesta is a trend-driven online destination for fashion, jewelry and accessories. They aim to keep you updated with the latest happenings in the world of stylish accessorizing with an interactive platform. Welcome, Masoom.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
Okay. It's a brief intro. Masoom was a fashion writer at FTV and Laxmi. She also did her schooling at Scottish. That's one thing we have in common. College from HR and did her master's at the University of Arts, London. Voted the E-Tail of the Year in 2013 and was in the prestigious DNA 30 under 30. Welcome, Masoom, and do fill in the gaps in the intro and let us know what's going on in your world today.
Yes, thank you. So apart from my brand, I think the only one thing that we missed out on is I'm very passionate about fashion blogging, and I've been doing it since about 5 years.
Okay.
I've been voted by Vogue India as a top 5 fashion blogs to follow in the country. So that's something that I would love the readers to know about.
Okay, great. So moving to the product, so what inspired the idea for Style Fiesta and also fashion jobs?
So this was back in 2010, 2011, where I would always buy stuff for my ensemble or for my wardrobe when I was traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So either I was traveling personally, or I would request either my dad or my aunt or any family member who was traveling to bring stuff back, because I was never satisfied with Indian fashion, with what was the merchandise that was available within our country. So one fine day, the thought just struck me that, we really need fashion in India that's trendy but yet accessible. So we have fashion here that was too fashionable, that was too Indian, sorry. We had fashion here that was too Indian, and then we had fashion here that was in the luxury sector. There was no high street label that kind of met with both the means to the end.
Correct.
So I said I really wanted to do this, and I know I was a young girl, and all young girls like me are always looking for things to buy. It's just a trait that we have embedded.
Absolutely.
In us.
Yep.
And I thought that why not bring them to a destination that's rated by a person that they trust. Because at this time, I'd already been blogging for 2 years, and I'd built a very strong base with my readers. So in terms of comments, in terms of engagement, it was very active. It was one of the first fashion blogs in India. And, I was like, okay, so I have a connect here. There is this massive group of girls who believe in me, who will trust what I tell them. They trust my style, most importantly.
Yep.
And why not build out a destination for them where they can buy fashion that's curated, that's trendy, and that's very accessible and affordable. I saw a huge gap in the market.
Yep. All right.
So that's how I decided to kind of build my brand. I honestly, when I started off, I didn't focus on my categories. I didn't focus on what I wanted to sell. Which is why you might be realizing that I'm not mentioning, that this product was, we didn't find enough of it in India, or this was a product that was not focused upon as much in this market. Because when I started off, I was only focusing on trendy and affordable fashion, fast fashion, trendy fashion. So I didn't really pay attention to what category I would be entering.
Okay.
Even till today, I'm open to all categories, but I just want to make sure that the product that is delivered to you or that you purchase and you take back home to your doorstep is you're happy with it.
Okay.
You feel super stylish with it, and you have 0% guilt
Okay.
in the money that you have invested in the product.
Oh, great. So you're running Style Fiesta, the blog. You're also doing Style Fiesta, the e-commerce site, and you also have fashion jobs, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
great. And so, what's the vision for the company?
Um, I for Style Fiesta, I want to be a brand that can reach out to a million people.
Okay.
That I know I have an amazing product. My vision is that I can reach out to every single woman who is looking for fashionable products, who's looking for trendy products
Correct.
between the ages of 16 to 30, and kind of reach out to them and make sure that they have awareness about my brand.
Okay. Great. And I mean, other than you, any other key people to take this project off the ground and make it a reality, or was it just you?
So it was just me. Of course, I had a lot of help along the way.
Okay.
There are too many people to name, but
Yeah.
I will forever be grateful to how supportive everyone has been
Uh-huh.
in every stage of life. Whether it was looking for manufacturers, whether it was advice related to raising investment, whether it was simply like overcoming obstacles, and even things like packaging and things like dealing with your operations when you're looking at a much larger turnover. There were so many people who've gone out of their way
Yeah. Yeah.
for absolutely with no intention, nothing to take back home, and have really helped me out, whom I think without this journey would really be incomplete.
Great. And how did you validate the idea? I mean, you built a community, which is always the best thing to do. So did you just based
Yes.
on that, you said, okay, shopping is going to work, or did you test it out with a few of your community members first?
So, to be really honest,
Hmm.
I wanted to base it on that, but my dad was like, hell no. He was like, I am not letting you base an entire business on your assumption that you have a bunch of girls who follow you.
Yeah.
So I said, let me prove it to you first. So my blog was and is still posted on blogger.com.
Okay.
And on blogger.com, there's an option of shop, which takes like a maximum of 120 minutes to set up. So I was traveling this summer of 2011, and I picked up some stuff while I was traveling. Very
Hmm.
curated, very stylish, high street, trendy stuff
Yep.
from vintage markets, boutiques, and I got it back home, and I set up a blog shop, and I only kept around 30 to 40 products, and we were sold out in less than 24 hours.
Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah.
And this was at a time where e-commerce was non-existent.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, we probably had like 2 e-commerce websites in India.
Hmm.
It was not a very approached method at all. Secondly, the way I was receiving payments, which I think this was the point that really made me trust this business idea, was I uh, uh, I was receiving payments through bank transfer.
Hmm.
And on the blog shop, I clearly mentioned that the products will be dispatched only after the money reaches my account,
Correct.
which is very dicey.
Yeah, of course.
To be honest, very dicey. And this was, I mean, today I trust the internet, but back then you probably
Yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah, of course.
And I still had 40 people buy from my blog shop, which has no guarantee, only because they trusted the person behind it, because they knew there was an entity behind it. There was somebody somewhere in India sitting behind a laptop and running this. They knew her name. They knew what she looks like. They knew things about me, which is why they had that trust.
Yeah, yeah.
So they had that trust while depositing money into my account. They had that trust while even selecting products that I had tagged as stylish.
Okay.
So,
Great.
that was a very interesting
Yeah.
sort of beta phase, as we call
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And your users slash customers are, is it only India, or is it even in Asia?
So we focus only on India,
Okay,
but
okay.
we actually receive orders from all over the world.
Okay.
So it's not something that we do volumes in, but it is something that I'm proud of because it's word of mouth advertising. We don't
Correct.
do any international marketing.
Correct.
But we've got orders from Japan, we've got orders from Russia, we've got orders from the USA, of course. We've got orders from UK, we've got orders from the Philippines. So it's a vast range. Whether it's just like one order from that country, but it's just so amazing to
Yep.
know that you still have the potential to reach out
Yeah. Okay.
beyond what you can see.
Correct. And so revenue model is primarily commerce, but do you also do advertising on the blog?
So the blog is treated as a completely separate entity
Okay.
from e-commerce. So the e-commerce revenue model is, of course, it's a product.
Yep. Yep.
So that's it. The blog is revenue generating. Almost 80% of the posts are sponsored
Okay.
or collaborations, but
Okay.
it's a separate entity again.
Got it.
And Fashion Jobs India is a completely non-profit
Okay. Got it.
organization.
Okay. And so competition. There are many fashion blogs in India, but I read
Yes.
somewhere Style Fiesta is about the experience and not the products. So is this do others also have this tagline, or how do you think you're different? I've seen the site; it's lovely.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. So the way I see it is, I feel maybe a person doesn't need to come to my website to buy,
Mm-hmm.
because when I started off this business, I didn't start it off by saying I want to sell products or I want to sell fashion. I said I want to deliver fashion. I said I want to make sure that I can get international fashion to India.
Yep.
I can bring international trends. I can bring to you fashion that's trendy and affordable. I didn't say I want to sell it, trendy fashion. So the way we've built the website is that I want you to come here to kind of see what's in fashion.
Okay. Got it.
It's going to be my skill and my merchandise that should hopefully convert you.
Yeah.
But even if it doesn't, at least the experience of logging on should be something that we can hold on to.
Correct. Correct. Great.
I just hope that if there's somebody who logs on,
Yeah.
there's something that she kind of takes back home from before she came.
Got it. Got it. It's like going to Amazon and not coming empty-handed.
Yes.
So you were bootstrapped initially, and I read you raised your first round in Q4 2015, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And is it like a seed round?
Yes.
Okay. And using it primarily for product or expansion or team?
So we primarily use it for product.
Okay.
Yes, because we had a lot of demands from
Okay.
a lot of places that we were selling at, and
Mhm.
the quantities were really increasing.
Correct. So what is the team size like? Because e-commerce is normally very resource intensive.
I actually don't agree with that at
Okay.
all, to be honest. I come from the belief that the smaller you keep it, the better it
Okay,
is.
great.
Margins will, of course, always be higher that way.
Yeah,
So that's how I kind of like to keep it. We're a team size of about 12 people right now.
great. That's really
Yes.
good. Yeah. Okay. And key challenges faced by, I would say, startups, but also women entrepreneurs in India.
Um, I think people taking you seriously when you don't have uh, factors backing you. Those
Correct.
factors could be family name, it could be funding, it could be
Mm-hmm.
uh, like your past experience. I think just people taking you seriously is a little difficult. It's something I faced as well in the beginning.
Okay. Is it improving?
Yes, it's definitely
Great.
improving
Okay.
because I think everyone is very aware that it really doesn't matter. I feel like as long as you can do anything, it could be any kind of product and any kind of service, and it has so much potential. It's really the way you place it in the market, it's really the way you position it. And I think that's a realization that everyone has had in our country,
Mhm.
especially, which is why also they're more open to, not being gender biased.
Correct.
I
Okay.
mean, we've had so many successful women entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
even since recently, it's amazing.
Yep. So moving out of business, who influenced you most in life?
I think definitely my father.
Okay.
I would definitely say he influenced
Okay.
me the most in life.
And some of the best advice you've been given?
So there was something someone said to me. Uh, they said accelerate when you need to, because if you miss accelerating when you need to, you will always regret it.
Okay.
And second thing, which I don't always do, I don't always agree to,
Uh-huh.
and I don't always implement, is stay below the radar.
Okay.
I don't agree to it, but in retrospect, I feel like I think it's very meaningful
Okay.
advice.
And when did you know you were meant for entrepreneurship?
Um, I think a time when the initial problems in a startup that of course come,
Okay.
when they came my way, and I enjoyed it.
Oh,
You know,
great.
it was stressful, but I never had a thought of giving up.
Yeah.
I never had any thoughts of taking another route, or it was very stressful, but I think every problem has a solution.
Of course.
So I felt like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
I love being in the business of business.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes.
So my next question holds no ground, which is, was there any low point in your career where you want to give up?
No, I would say no.
Okay.
But you already know
Yeah.
that.
And what would you say is your greatest weakness?
My greatest weakness is I've I have a very short attention span.
Attention span. Okay.
So very short attention span.
Okay.
So everyone in my office claims I have ADD,
Okay.
because you can be talking to me 1 minute, but I've really moved on in my head.
Okay.
And so that's why this whole balancing of careers between blogging and the
Correct.
brand,
Correct.
and it kind of helps, because I do tend to get bored very easily, and
Hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to say it in the most professional way I can, that I get bored very easily,
Yeah.
but that just means I'm amazing at multitasking.
Okay.
I need to do 5 things at one time, which is the way I like it.
Great. Think you perform best that way. Why not? And
Yes.
uh, so when you're obviously involved with hiring, so when you're looking for people to join Style Fiesta, what is it they're looking in them?
So whenever I'm interviewing someone or
Hmm.
looking to bring someone on in the team, the one thing that I always tell them, and not even tell them, I ask them, is that, are you ready to treat this as your own company? Are you ready to treat this as your own brand? Because see, when you're running a team of 100, 200 people,
Yep.
it's very different. Emotions are different. The feelings are different.
Hmm.
The relationships are different. When you're running a team of 12 people, everyone needs to own the show to run it.
Correct.
You know,
Correct. Very true. Yep.
it's a very codependent team. It's a very everything needs to move in sync to move perfectly, and that's the way it's very enjoyable. So at least in this phase and stage of my business, the first thing that I look for is that, are you ready to treat this as your own company, as your own brand?
Hmm.
Then only is a job like this, even a possibility for you.
Okay. Okay. And what's something that's getting you really excited at present? Any new launch or feature?
We're actually moving into offline markets, which is very, very
Oh,
exciting.
okay. That's great.
Yes, yes. So we're getting into organized retail,
Okay.
and it's an exciting time. We're looking at um, we have a very open mind right now, not closing down any options that come our way.
Great. Great.
It's going to be a very
Yeah.
exciting quarter.
Yep. And where do you see yourself in your business in the next 2 to 3 years?
Next 2 to 3 years, I definitely see myself I I I want to focus more on building and investing in the categories that have turned out to be the king categories.
Okay.
Focusing on them, building my merchandise expands. Of course, one major thing that we're looking at doing is moving into the offline market.
Okay.
So the next year or so, we'll kind of go into setting up the operations and things like that.
Okay.
We're also looking at going on board to larger retail players in India,
Okay.
being a part of their setup. So let's see how it
Okay.
goes.
All the best for that. Okay. So now we move to a part of the show which is quick fire round. Simple, brief answers. Okay. So when people ask you, what do you do? How do you answer that?
Oh my God, this is the worst question ever. And this is the last question that should have been on the rapid fire round. Because when people ask me what I do, I just smile and I look at the person next to me and expect them to answer.
So that's your answer.
Because there's really no way to say this. But okay, for rapid fire, I'd say I'm a fashion blogger and an entrepreneur who is very passionate about this industry. I also have a brand that deals in fashion accessories and jewelry.
Great, excellent.
Yes.
When you think of the word successful, who is the first person that comes to mind?
Successful. Successful. Oh wow, I'm really bad at rapid fire.
You can pass, it's okay.
Okay, I passed.
Yeah. What do you excel at that people might not realize?
Multitasking.
Great. And what is something that you believe in that other people think is insane?
Doing a lot of... Okay, that's the same as last answer.
Should we pass this?
No, give me a second. Could you repeat the question?
What is something you believe in that other people think is insane?
The law of attraction.
Okay, superb. Your favorite city?
Mumbai.
Favorite movie?
The Notebook.
Any book you're reading right now?
The Oath of the Vajraputras.
Okay, and your favorite music?
Hip hop, Bollywood.
Great. And finally, one last thought or piece of advice that you may have missed that you want to give our aspiring founders.
There are going to be a lot of people who will try and pull you down in this crazy race. But I think this journey is all about staying rooted to your initial thought, your initial mission. Why did you start off with this? Why did you, why did you take that jump off the cliff? I think it's very important to keep going back to that thought, and that will always bring you back to the path that you would like to be on.
Okay, great. And please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also Style Fiesta.
So, Style Fiesta, of course, you can find on stylefiesta.com, where Style Fiesta on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay.
My personal accounts are Miss Style Fiesta on Instagram and Facebook, and my blog is called Style Fiesta Diaries. You can check out Fashion Jobs India at fashionjobsindia.com.
Great.
If you're ever looking for a job.
Great. Again, Masoom, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and inspiring our listeners to start their own ventures. All the very best with scaling Style Fiesta. And do visit stylefiesta.com and the other products, and do visit us at theasianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes. And also please subscribe to the show on iTunes, Tuning and Stitcher, and leave a review on your thoughts about the show. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. Our hope is that you are encouraged by what you've heard, and you can put these same concepts and mindsets to use with your own style. See you next time as we discover more about what it takes to be an accomplished entrepreneur. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.